Welcome back to another album review. This is JPEGMAFIA with All My Heroes Are Cornballs. JPEGMAFIA comes back 1 year after his incredible debut studio album Veteran with this new one, All My Heroes Are Cornballs. It's a shame that I didn't make a review for Veteran, an album that took time to get used to, but since its release it grew significantly on me. This album came as a surprise to me, not only for the timing of it, but also the approach that Peggy took with this one. It's more melodic, he sings quite often compared to Veteran, and the production, albeit experimental, it has a different aesthetic, a different vibe to it. An aesthetic softer combined with how Peggy sounds makes me think he comes from a place of depression and pain. Before I dive into Cornballs, I like to clear a few things up about listening to JPEGMAFIA. For one, Pig is not for everyone. He doesn't have an accessible sound and style, so if you want to hear him, you should be open-minded and forget about traditional rap. Second, to categorize his sound as industrial, noisy, or experimental, or all of them combined with alt R&B would be unfair. Third, don't let those previous 2 points fool you. Peggy knows how to rap. He has nice flows that constantly evolve throughout the songs, not only the album, but throughout the songs. He has amazing bars and punchlines as well. Truth is, I, I feel kind of weird with this album. I mean, I like it, but I'm not sure if I like it because it's that different from Veteran. It may not be as aggressive or in your face the attitude of Peggy, but he still holds his edgy political views. That characteristic of I don't give a fuck, the boldness he has combined with the no filter in his brain when he raps is the things that I like most from him, and that's why I love listening to this guy. The first half of the album, in terms of what I like, is that it's more steady, the flow is good in my opinion, and each song fit nicely with each other. Maybe with the exception of JPEGMAFIA type beat, that I didn't care that much, but I understand its purpose. It's Peggy's way to make fun of people, or better, that culture of people that put out beats similar to SoundCloud or YouTube, and also trying to shoot down all the comparison he gets to death grips. Can't say the same thing though about Buttermilk type beat. After the incredible title track, the album has some hit and miss tracks. Those are the uninspired BBW or the weekly structure post verified life. I feel that it is a mix of multiple small snippets rather an actual song. Underwhelming is also the thot's freestyle in my opinion. A song that starts promising but at the second half it fades away, it loses its steam. Two tracks that I'm kinda in the middle and leaning towards likable are the glitchy alien synth thot tactics, which I believe is the most easy on the ear song, and the other one is Basic Beats Tear Gas, where it's basically a cover of the song No Scraps from TLC, of course with Peggy's unique touch as he talks from the perspective of the woman. And it's not the first time in this album that Peggy shows, we could say, his more feminine side. It comes from the very first track as well, the Jesus Forgive Me, I Am a Thot, where Peggy throws these lines about his non-existent pussy being closed. I love the shiny keyboards and the heavy bass as Peggy talks about his creative process and throws some quite funny kinda dark lines as well. Another highlight for me is Beta Male Strategies. The beat is low key with some ethereal samples where Peggy essentially calls out the internet trolls and keyboard warriors. The weird distortions and glitches from the middle portion of the track onwards give me the sense of danger, and that change also comes together with this line of him saying, "Say what you said on Twitter right now." It's like he caught a bitch boy out in the streets talking shit on Twitter that he's ready to get his ass whooped. The next two tracks fit thematically as well, the very nice Grimy Waifu and PTSD. On one, you have some nice synths with some mellow acoustic chords, but don't be fooled by these playful and smart lyrics because the tone and theme of this song is the exact opposite as Peggy writes a romantic ode about his gun. So having in mind Peggy's past with armed forces, it doesn't seem weird to have a song like Grimy Waifu and then follow it up with PTSD because people like Peggy may have experienced those traumatic stress disorders, and that's why I'm making the connections. This track starts with a very weird bass where as the song progresses makes space for this mystical and ethereal sound with some drum patterns that remind me of a military march. And on top of this low-key and melodic feel, Peggy comes with some very aggressive and raw bars, like a couple of these. Uh, no shots get the picture, or you and your both get cropped. Don't know how that feels, young Peggy. No deal, your deal looks something like Brexit, which is one clever line. Whew. Rap Grow Old and Die, No Child Left Behind is a cool two-part song, where the second part feels more like an epilogue rather than a song. We have those lo-fi noises throughout, and that feel gives that of a swamp that drags you deeper and deeper within. And from that, Peggy sounds very harmonic on the chorus, and the melody is gorgeous, where Peggy talks about the trap you get caught in when living in these vicious life cycles. Another highlight is the explosive prone that seemed to have quite an industrial and punk heavy feel to it, and also Free the Frail, where it's my favorite song on the album, where Peggy talks about his problems with his fame, his image, and how it's on the fans' hands now. On top of one of the more catchy choruses of the whole album, I love the singing he does here as he shows his vulnerability. I think the worst song on this album is probably Life's Hard. Here's a song about sorrow where the bad production and the bad executed singing with autotune makes me want to skip the song. It's my rock and roll is dead of this album. I'm sorry. Like Veteran, this album is experimental, noisy, and raw, something you could expect from Peggy, and the big difference between these two is this one sounds more melodic and has more shining spots in the production with quite a few weird synths splattered around it. With all that, Cornballs feels more depressing, desperate, and emotionally numb though. I may not love it as much as I love Veteran, but I appreciate this change, and I also appreciate how Peggy doesn't stay in a box and is not afraid to talk about anything, and I'm pretty sure he is one of the few with the brain capacity to say what he says. Don't sleep on this man anymore. In my opinion, he is the best thing in the rap scene at this moment. So that's it for the review. I hope you enjoyed it. Tell me down in the comments below what your thoughts about this album. Did you like it? Did you hate it? Subscribe for more content. Hit the bell for notification as well. And until the next review, stay safe. Goodbye.